Salamba Sarvangasana. Salamba means supported. Sarvangasana means shoulder or all limbs. So it's typically called our shoulder stand pose. We first start out learning the pose usually at the wall. And I'm going to show two ways in which you can go into this pose at the wall. The first way is to bring your mat and fold it in quarters or 2 times. So you have a square, bring it up towards the wall. And now I'm using, I already have my blankets folded here. I'm using 4 blankets, yoga blankets. So I'm creating some height underneath my shoulders to keep some space and curvature in my neck. Now these blankets should be long enough for the elbow to the shoulder to fit, and also that both my shoulders are firmly on the support. We also use an extra support for the arms. Typically, the arms like to splay out, which causes the trunk to drop and our chest to drop, and we lose our stability in the pose. So we take a loop and a strap, and we have it about shoulder distance. You can measure, and remember it's helpful to practice the pose, or practice putting on the strap behind you, because essentially the strap will go behind you above the elbows. Now I am gonna, at this point, go upside down, so it's positive to tuck in your shirt so it doesn't fly into your face. And just like we did, now you'll notice there's a little bit of space at the wall here. And we're gonna come onto these blankets, much like we did with Viparita Karani. So you'll notice once I come on, my shoulders are still not quite completely on the blankets. I have my loop in one arm. Now, I'm looking at you now, but once I get into the pose here and on my shoulders, I can't turn my head and look at you. So you should never turn your head and neck in this position once you have the weight on the shoulders and you're into the pose. So I'm going to bend my knees. I'm going to lift my buttocks up slightly, but not so much that I start to slide that way. So I'm going to stay in my blankets, and then I'm going to walk my shoulders in. And you'll notice that my shoulders are well on the blankets. In fact, from my shoulders to the blankets, there's a couple inches at least, but my head is off. From here, I keep lifting my buttocks up, and then here I'll put the strap on behind, again above my elbows. I'm really trying to get on the very tops of my shoulders here, pressing the arms down, pressing the feet into the wall. I lift the trunk. I take the buttocks in and lift it up and really stretch the front of the hips towards my knees. Then I place my hands onto my back, onto the more of the back ribs. The whole hand should be on the back. And then from this position, we can try to stretch one leg up, then the other, or you can try the full pose. Now I have to keep pressing the arms down, stretching the legs up, and keeping the buttocks in, stretch the other leg, and then join the feet and legs. And then I'll bring the feet down and take the strap off before I come all the way out and slide down. So that's one way to work on Salamba Sarvangasana. Another way you can work on this pose is to turn yourself around. So this time, my head will be going towards the wall. You still want your stack of blankets here. And sometimes it can be useful to have bolster, bricks, books, some more blankets on the other side, and still your strap for around your arms. Now, I am going to be swinging my feet towards the wall, so I want to measure when I sit on more of like the middle of my blankets, can I stretch my legs straight? So I can't stretch my legs straight and get my feet to the wall, so I'll need to know, see that I need to back up. All right, that's about a good distance. From here, I'm going to Turn around. And once again, come onto the blankets so that my shoulders are on and head off. I'm actually going to be rolling over and bringing my feet to the wall. But before I do that, I'm going to lift up and put my strap on. And when I come down, I'm going to bring my hands underneath the buttocks. Now I'm not going to lift up, but rather I'm going to bring my knees in, and here my hands can help, or you can get a friend or your relative, whoever's with you, to help assist you to give you a little booster. You're going to roll your feet over. So your feet are going to come to the wall. Now right away, I suggest, especially if you're feeling a little breathless, to take your feet wider and walk the feet up. Now notice that when I walk the feet up, my hips are going to come more in line with my shoulders, and I'm lifting and lengthening that trunk up. Again, I'm going to bring the hands to my back. And this is actually going through a pose called Halasana, or the plow pose. So I'm going to press the back of the arms down, push the hands into the back to lift my trunk, and then I'll see again. Can I bring one leg up, and then the other, keeping the thighs and knees tight, and the buttocks lifting up and slightly forward. I'll try to keep my feet, my knees, my hips, and my shoulders all in one line and balance here. When it's time to come down, I bring my feet down. Notice that when I bring my legs up, I'm very sure about my legs. So my knees aren't bent, I'm not guessing, my legs are tight, and they help me to pull myself up. And it's especially important when you come down. Be sure about it. Keep your legs firm. And then again, before you come down, you could, if you want, actually, to work on Halasana a little bit, you can start to walk down the wall. Every time you walk down the wall, lift your thighs, lift your back up, and you might even see if you can start to work towards the floor into the full Halasana or plow pose. Again, when you're ready to come down, you'll take your strap off, and again, you'll slowly roll down just the way you came in. Now, I always suggest taking your time, and even when you're coming off the blankets, bring your head and shoulders in one line. Wait there for a moment because you are inverted, you're upside down, so give yourself a little time to recollect yourself. And then when you're ready, you're going to slide all the way off, roll to the side, and come up.